Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at poses that release the hips. The hips tend to hold a lot of tension, especially if you spend your day sitting a lot at a desk or in a car, whatever you may do. And if you hold tension in the hips, this can travel all the way up the back body, creating pain. So for this practice, you are going to need one block or two if you have, or substitutes, and a strap. And let's get started. So we're going to begin in a seated position on the mat. And draw the soles of your feet to touch and open your knees out wide. And then your choice here, you can either have the heels draw in closely towards your groin or far apart from you. Find what feels good for you. And then you're welcome, if you'd like, to place blocks underneath your knees, and they can be on any height setting here that feels appropriate. Or if you'd like, you can sit up onto a block to elevate the hips, or sit on a cushion or a pillow. Do whatever you need to get comfortable here, relatively in this position, and lift and lengthen through your spine. Soften and relax your shoulders. Close your eyes. Rest your arms wherever is comfortable. And draw your awareness inside. Take a moment here to just sit in silence and stillness. Let the weight of your legs become heavy so you can soften and relax into the inner hips, the inner thighs. And just tune in with your rhythm of breath. Tune in with your thoughts. Just get centered. And from here, you're more than welcome to stay in this position of a seated meditation with a gentle hip opener. Or if it feels good for you and you want to take this into a forward fold and release forward, you can tiptoe your hands forward in space and stop and pause at whatever point feels appropriate for you as you surrender down. Now here again, if you'd like, you can take a prop and place it underneath your head. Support the weight of the head and neck. You can use blankets, bolsters, cushions, pillows, whatever feels good, or you can allow the weight of your head to simply hang heavy toward the floor. Soften and relax your shoulders. You have the option to either keep the spine elongated, leading forward with your chest, or you can round into the back body. So if you keep the spine lengthened, it's going to stretch further into the inner hips, the inner thighs. But if you start to round the back, you're also going to create a stretch through the entire back body. So feel what you need in this moment and choose whichever option suits you best. Again, tune in with the quality of your breath. Try to soften and relax its rhythm. And as much as you can here, allow yourself to really surrender and release forward. Let this softening of the body soften and relax your mind. And finding a space of stillness within.
Let each exhale breath draw you a little bit deeper into the pose, a little bit deeper into your own mind. Notice the movement that your body allows as you surrender a little bit further over time, maybe allowing you to draw yourself slightly deeper into the pose. Work with your own edge, stay within your own capacity, and accept your body wherever it is right now. Take another 3 deep breaths here. And on your next inhale, very mindfully and carefully, draw yourself back up to sit. Lift back up through the crown of your head. Take a hold behind your knees and gently draw them back in toward the midline. And take any movements here that you want to release. So if you want, you can take a little twist from side to side. If that feels good, you can stretch your legs forward, shake them out. Do whatever you need to release. And you can move your props over toward the side of your mat. And when you're ready, cross your ankles and roll forward onto all fours. Come into a tabletop position. Align your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees. And find length through the whole back body. From here, select your right knee on the outside of your right wrist, so toward the right edge of the mat. And then scoot your right ankle toward your left wrist as far as your body will allow, as far as the hips will allow it to comfortably move. And then tuck your left toes underneath and slide your knee down the mat, slowly inching your hips down toward the floor. Now from here, you're more than welcome to rest onto a block or onto a pillow or a rolled up blanket or whatever you need to get comfortable. And I would suggest supporting the hip unless it touches the floor. So you want to be able to be fully supported so you can relax muscular control in this pose. And then just energetically for a moment, draw your knees toward each other. And this will help to square your hips forward toward the top of the mat. Maintain this, but relax into the muscles. And inhale, elongate and lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, slowly begin to lead with your chest as you hinge forward over the legs. And you can stop and rest on your forearms. You can always rest onto a block to support you. Find a positioning that feels comfortable for you to surrender into for a few moments. Let your weight become heavy. Wherever you feel the sensation the most intensely, imagine that you could send your breath to that space. And let this new flow of breath soften the space around it so that you can completely let go wherever the stretch is most intense. Take a scan of your whole body and notice if you're displacing tension anywhere. Perhaps you're feeling the sensation in your hip, but you're clenching your jaw as a result. So just notice where you tend to hold tension in the body. And when you find it, allow yourself to relax it, soften, and just let yourself feel the sensations where they arise. Take another 5 deep breaths. On your next inhale, very slowly begin to lift up through the torso. Walk your hands back in toward the body. Tuck your left toes underneath and slide your left knee forward slightly. So you can return back into a neutral tabletop. And feel free to take any movements here that you'd like. You can gently wag your tail, sway the hips from side to side, or maybe stretch one leg back at a time to let the blood recirculate. You can stretch up and back into a downward facing dog. Do what you need to feel good and release the pose. And whenever you feel ready, return back to that neutral tabletop. Again, elongating through the back body. This time, slide your left knee to the outside of your left wrist, so it's toward the left side of the mat. And then slide your ankle toward your right wrist, as far as the hips will comfortably allow. Tuck your right toes underneath and slide your knee down the mat. Relaxing the weight of your hips toward the floor or a prop. Again, feel free to use your props to support you as much as you'd like. For a moment, energetically, draw your knees toward each other, both front to back and side to side. See how this turns your torso and your hips to point straight forward toward the top of your mat. Keep this as you relax the musculature and lift and lengthen through the back body. Take a full deep inhale. And as you exhale, try and keep the length through your spine as you walk your hands forward in space. Now again, you're welcome to rest onto your forearms, rest your head onto a block or a pillow or whatever you would like, or you can release all the way down to the floor if that feels comfortable for you. Softening the body into the position. Try your best to keep the hips level and facing forward, but relax muscular control as you do that. Soften your shoulders. Soften your jaw. Let your body unwind here. Turn your breath to the space where you're feeling the stretch and relax into it. With each exhale breath, allow your body to soften even deeper. And just notice if this allows you to move slightly deeper into the pose or deeper into your mind. Take another 5 deep breaths. And on your next inhale, slowly begin to lift the weight of the head and chest. Walk your hands back in toward the body. Tuck your right toes underneath and slide your right knee forward in space to draw yourself back into a tabletop position. And again, feel free to take any movements here that feel good to release. You can sway the hips, you can stretch the legs back, or press up and back into downward dog. Do whatever you need to release the body and restore balance. Whenever you're ready, we'll meet back in a neutral tabletop with your shoulders stacked over your wrists and your hips stacked over your knees. Find length through the back body, reach the tailbone behind you and the crown of the head forward. And this time, slide your knees together to touch and reach your right knee forward. Open your foot toward the outer edge of the mat and slide and cross your right leg over your left. Now slide both feet toward the outer edges of the mat and slowly begin to release your seat back. So you can either sit onto a stack of blocks, releasing down onto that. You can sit onto cushions or pillows, or you can release all the way to the floor. If this doesn't feel comfortable at all, you're welcome to stretch and extend your left leg forward. The goal here is to try and stack the knees as much as possible. You're welcome to place a prop between the knees if there's a big gap between them as well. So find an option that works and feels good for you. And lift and lengthen through the back body. From here, take your fingertips back behind you. Ground your sit bones to the floor and stretch the crown of your head up. Soften and relax into your shoulders and ever so slightly draw the shoulder blades together, opening your chest. Soften and relax the weight of your knees toward the floor. Stretch the crown of your head up. You can close your eyes here and soften your breath. And you're more than welcome to stay here as you are, sitting up tall through the back body. This is already creating a deep stretch through the outer hips. If you would prefer,
You can slowly begin to tiptoe your hands forward in space, softening over the legs into a forward fold. Relax the weight of your torso down. You can relax the weight of your head. And of course, as always, you're welcome to use props to support your body in any way that you'd like. Let your weight become really heavy. Let everything release down with the force of gravity. Tune in with your breath and send it to the places that you feel need more attention in the body. Take another 3 deep breaths. And if you fold it, inhale to slowly begin to rise back up. Plant your palms forward in front of you. Press into the hands to lift the hips and slide your way back into a tabletop position. Take any movements here that you'd like to release. You can just gently sway the hips from side to side. You can flow through a cat-cow. You can stretch the legs back. Do whatever feels good in your body. Find a way to restore balance before meeting back in a tabletop. Again, walk your knees to touch in the midline, and this time sweep your left knee forward and cross your left leg over the right. Slide both feet to the outer edges of the mat, and slowly and carefully release your seat back behind you. So again, either sit on a stack of blocks or release to the floor. You're more than welcome to stretch and straighten the right leg forward, or keep the knees stacked. And you're welcome to place props between the knees to shorten the gap. So wherever you choose to be, lift and lengthen through the spine, and take your fingertips back behind you. Gently press the floor away, lift up taller through the back body, and ever so slightly draw the shoulder blades toward each other to peel open your heart. Relax the weight of your knees toward the floor and grow a little bit taller through the back.
And here you're welcome to close the eyes and bring your awareness inside as you focus on the sensations of the stretch. So again, if this feels good, then stay exactly as you are. If you did so on the other side and you would like to again, you can slowly begin to forward fold over the legs, walking your hands forward in space and surrendering the weight of your torso down to whatever level feels appropriate in your body. You're welcome to release your head onto a block or just let it hang heavy toward the floor. You can be supported by your own knees. Find a position of comfort where you can relax muscular control and let gravity do the work. Focus on the depth of your breath. And let each breath become even deeper than the previous one. And let this depth really draw you inside to the depths of your own mind. Allowing you to find a place of stillness within. Take another 5 deep breaths. And if you folded forward, slowly begin to draw yourself back up to sit. Walk your hands forward in front of you. Lean your weight into your hands to lift up off of your seat. And slowly unwind your legs. Return back into a tabletop. Go through any movements in the body that you'd like to release this last pose. When you feel ready, you can simply release back onto your heels, come into a seat, and you can stay like this or move into a cross-legged position to get comfortable. So you can grab your strap and make a loop into the strap. So make a pretty wide loop to begin. And again, if you don't have a strap, that's okay. You can use a belt as a substitute if you have that. If not, you can do the pose completely without the strap. So once you have that loop, place it over your head. And let it fall right around your sacrum, right below the lower back. And then draw the soles of your feet to touch and open your knees out wide, similar to the pose we did at the beginning of the practice. And take your same loop and wrap it around your feet. And then tighten the strap a lot. So you want it to be so tight that when you completely release muscular control over the legs, the strap will hold you in place. And then from here, you're welcome to place blocks underneath the knees if you'd like some added support there. And start by lifting and lengthening through the back body. And then take your hands back behind you and slowly begin to release all the way down onto your back. You're welcome to rest your hands wherever feels comfortable, so you can relax them on your body, by your side. You can put them out into a T shape or make a diamond shape up over your head. Do whatever feels good for you. Let the strap do the work for you to hold your legs in place. And then give yourself permission to let go of these muscles. Let go of muscular control. And let your prop do the work for you. You can allow your eyes to close if they haven't already. Soften and relax the full body. And soften and relax your mind. Let your mind surrender into this moment. Become fully present of the here and now. And tune in with all of the sensations that you're feeling. In body, breath, and mind. Take another 5 long, deep breaths. And on your next breath, you can either start to loosen the strap, or you can just lift your feet, draw them in towards your body to release them from the strap. And you can relax your feet to the floor. You can stretch your legs out long, do whatever you'd like to relax and soften. Let the weight of your lower back surrender to the floor. Let your breath become even deeper. And then whenever you feel ready, you can stretch your legs long forward in front of you. Relax your arms down by your side. Get really comfortable here as you soften the full weight of your body down into the mat. Tune in with your breath. And give yourself as much time as you can to completely soften and surrender into this place of silence and stillness, absorbing all of the positive effects of your practice. This is where I will leave you today. So thank you so much for practicing with me, and I will see you next time. Namaste.